Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
That's okay.
We are conducting a research on coping strategies,
Yes.
and I really like if you can share with us at the time that you had a massive stressor in life, what sort of coping strategies helped you to go through it?
I have worked in an industry which is very stressful. I'm mostly retired now, but there was a time during my working life when it became too much for me to cope with, and I had a sort of collapse, a mental collapse. And I had to take time off work. I took 6 months off work, and my coping strategy really was to spend time outside and in my garden, because I am a keen gardener anyway, but I was lucky enough at that time to live in a house with a garden, and I spent a lot of time doing that. And then when I was able to go back to work, I decided I needed more of a challenge outside of work to take my mind off it. So I did a degree in art, history of art, as a mature student part-time. So
That's
fitted
so inspiring.
in. It did. It fitted in because I could do it very, very part-time at the speed that I wanted to do. So I felt proud of myself for having achieved the degree.
So you should be.
Yeah, and how I still enjoy the garden. I still am a keen gardener, so that has lasted.
Thank you. Just one quick question, if you don't mind, with the you mentioned the stress of the work, and I think that you were hinting towards burnout.
Yes.
Some people don't know the symptoms of burnout. Would you be able to share with us what sort of things you experience that they can pick in their own?
Well,
Yeah.
I started finding that my patience was getting shorter and shorter, and then I found that my memory was getting shorter and shorter, and I didn't seem to be able to hold facts in my head. Then I found that I didn't want to speak to people anymore, and I didn't want to answer the phone. And as my job was a project manager, that was quite difficult. I found I didn't want it. Got that sort of accelerated until I didn't want to go out of the house. And I found I couldn't cope with talking to people at all, or picking up the phone, at which point my job became impossible. So I had to tell them that I wasn't coping and I couldn't carry on, and they gave me 6 months off.
Thank you.
But I was also very tired. I think the first thing I noticed was the tiredness and irritation.
The second question is about something that you have learned in your life that you would have wished that more people had learned it.
That's a very interesting question. Let me think about that. Well, when I was, my characteristic is that I'm a quite perfectionist, so I made life quite hard for myself by setting very high goals. And I used to spend a lot of time analysing my decisions to see whether I could have made a better decision and regretting them. I think now I would say follow your gut feel a lot more and be happier with the decisions you've made. Just move on if they don't turn out right, instead of regretting them.
Thank you. And the last question is about the act of kindness. There is a lot of research talking about very, very small act of kindness. Just smiling to a total stranger. To strangers can uplift the mood of the giver and receiver for a very long period. Would you be able to recall an act of kindness in your life to a total strangers that was left with you?
I do try to be kind to strangers because I do recognise it makes me feel better. Recently we had a cyclist come past our house who asked for a glass of water, and he didn't look well, so we asked him, "Are you actually okay?" And he admitted he didn't feel well. So we asked him to sit in our garden, and we gave him an aspirin and a cup of tea until he felt better enough to go on. It cost us absolutely nothing, and we felt as if we'd offered hospitality to somebody who needed it at the moment. And I do find that random acts of kindness do uplift me, and I work on the principle that they're a sort of credit. If I show somebody an act of kindness, perhaps they will show somebody else an act of kindness, and that it will perhaps spread around a bit. One day I might get it back.
That's the idea. Thank you very